It is time for another edition of Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. What's up, Coach?
How you doing?
Man, I tell you what, officially on a winning streak, I can say that real quick.
True.
But also, too, I got to give big shouts to our sponsors, too. Federal Credit Union. We got to say Founders Federal Credit Union. We say thank you so much for what you do for sponsoring the show, along with our other partners as well. We got Columbia Metropolitan Airport, Lexington Medical Center. Let's see, we also have South Carolina Education Lottery on board, too. So this is a big deal. A lot of folks believe in Benedict, and they believe in what they're doing. And, Coach, the fans believe in you as well, because I understand there was a bus that traveled to Atlanta, even with this impending storm at that point, to make sure that they were there for this game.
It was, I think Benedict had more than Morehouse did. I really do. It was great to look up there and see all the purple and gold and to hear them, cheering for 4 quarters. So I really appreciate those people that, weathered the storm, because we did get hit, and there was, going into that, we didn't have power that morning leaving, and our kids were on lockdown, and, some of our staff couldn't get out. From that, there was a lot of people on the way that we had also seen that their houses and vehicles. So, just want to send a prayer out to everybody that's still, dealing with this aftermath of the storm, and just praying that everybody's healthy and safe and they've made it through.
That's right, Coach. Of course, our prayers and thoughts with the family and friends, of course, over there in Georgia, South Carolina, as well as Florida, because everybody seems to have been affected by Helene. And we'll continue to move forward, because that's what we do. South Carolina strong, Georgia strong, Florida strong, and BC football strong. Guys, they won it again, so congratulations to BC. 21-5 on this one. Benedict wins the toss, but you'll defer to the second half. We go back and forth a little bit. Morehouse does some things, and they're ready to move down the field. But Nokacha, this guy, did his thing. Got an 11-yard sack. They had to end up getting a field goal with 3 points. First, that pretty much took up most of the first quarter.
It did, and usually we don't win the toss. So I was kind of nervous at that point in time. But, we had, as we said, we're going to believe and we're going to finish strong. And our defense, the good thing is they started off strong. I mean, we went back and forth. They got down there where you've seen as us growing, we would have given up a touchdown at that point in time. And yet they, as I said before, they bend, but they didn't break at that point in time and held them to a field goal. And, our defensive line played great. Nuokocho played great. And that was the start of him having a great game on that play right there. And he just continued throughout the rest of the game.
All right, so they're up 3-zip. Kickoff happens. Benedict gets the ball. It's a short kick, so you got some great field position.
That's true. And, that's advantage. We always talk about the hidden yardage. And that was the thing that gave us, extra first downs when you talk about hidden yardage. And then, Trey had the opportunity to go out there, and the thing that we're trying to do is have him settle down early in the game. And, he led us down the field, had a couple first downs, running and throwing the ball. And then we got into a situation where they got a penalty after Trey had a long run that put us somewhere in the, I think it was like 20, 25-yard line. We get a penalty, which moves us down even closer. And again, here comes the freshman, Mr. Moats takes it in for a touchdown. And again, we have the momentum going, after the touchdown. Lucas comes in, and Lucas is getting a lot better. Lucas wins and kicks the extra point. And I think it puts, at that point in time, us up 7-3.
Deep into the first quarter, just about the end, Morehouse gets it. It's 3 and out for those guys. Benedict gets the ball back. Now I'm trying to figure out, was this a busted play? Was it a design play? What were you trying to do here?
Well, we were actually trying to move the ball on offense, and we were kind of, exchanging with Morehouse back and forth. We'd go 3 and out, they'd go 3 and out. So we just needed something to change the game, change the momentum of the game. Football, at times, it has to be calculated the right way, but also, you have to have some guts. And we had been practicing all week on fakes, and the next thing you know, if they gave us the look, Lucas catches the ball, the snapper snaps it exactly where we were. They take off and cover down the field. Lucas sees the opportunity to get the first down. Again, coming off of our 15, I had faith that our defense was playing really well at that point in time. And the next thing you know, Lucas is running faster than I've ever seen him run. And, we get a first down on it, and we think we have the momentum. And then, we get the series. I think we move the ball with one more first down, and then we stall out. And that's kind of how the first half went. It was just a real strong defensive battle. And we really couldn't put anything together offensively. And so that's the reason why, that call was as crucial as it was when we made it.
It was definitely the struggle, no question about that. We're talking about 7 punts right there in that second quarter. So back and forth between the offenses and the defense was not moving. So in your mind, this is pretty much how this first half went. It's 7-3. You guys are up. What are you thinking?
You know, we went in and the first 3 games we go into, we're playing 4 down. You know, and this week we're going in and they're giving us a 3-down look, which is very hard. You know, when you've practiced ever since the beginning to change up, and then they can bring pressure from all different ways. And we're still learning how to develop as an offense. And so we just had to settle down and just really figure out where we can hurt them. And going into the game, we knew they were going to run 3 down, but they also blitzed a lot. And then now they didn't blitz as much. They were just, you know, either bringing pressure from the field, one guy, or pressure from the boundary. And we just had to make adjustments. We had to settle down and get our young men to understand this is what's going on. Let's play through it, and we'll be okay.
And that's pretty much how this first half goes. It was a big defensive battle, 7-3 to score. But coming up in just a little bit, we got to get in our Lexington spotlight player, and that's going to be Israel Nowakacha. We'll talk to him, let you get to know about him, and of course his playing style as well. This guy was a monster in this game.
He was very impressive. I was happy to see him come, you know, in his own, you know, and like I said, we had been struggling on defense and trying to figure out who we were and have an identity. And I think, you know, it's still, we're still chopping wood, but he really stood up and made some really big plays for us.
All right. Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr., brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Back right after this.
When you're competing for every point, you need teammates you can trust. The experts at Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide specialized treatment for the athlete in all of us. Backed by the #1 rated hospital in the Midlands. Life's a sport. Keep playing.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. Right now it's time for our Lexington Medical Center Spotlight, player spotlight, and we got Israel Nowakacha, right?
Yes, sir.
My man. Appreciate you being here with us. We appreciate that. Dude, you had one heck of a game. Let me see if I can go back through my notes and find out exactly what you did in this game. Hey, hold up. Hey, 3.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, forced fumble. Dude, fire. What was going through your mind for this game here? Did you get up for it? Like what? Like, tell me. Because you play hard every game. There's no question.
Yes, sir.
But for this one, it just seems you just went all out.
Well, my coach Premier, D-line coach, he brought me in this week trying to prepare me for this game. I talked to him before the game, like about last week's game, about how I can get better each week. So that's what I came into this game with, the mindset of getting better,
right,
and helping the team win.
Yeah. You hit hard out there. You probably wonder how I know that. Because when I'm up there announcing and I see the guy not getting up, I'm like, dang, he hit another one hard. Now, do your teammates, when you practice, do they kind of run from you when you're coming out off that line? When you're practice? Because, yeah, they know how hard you hit.
Yes, sir.
Is this something you always wanted to do, play defense on football, on a football team?
Yes, sir, I have. Since coming out of middle school.
Yeah.
Been wanting to play defense. It's been my it's like a vision for me. Like,
all right.
It's like a dream come true.
Where do you see yourself now? Look, this is your last year, Benedict.
Yes, sir.
What's next for you?
Start the game of life.
Okay.
Going back home.
You set goals like, okay, I'm getting ready to graduate. This is what I want to do when I graduate. This is what you know?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna have an internship lined up next year.
Okay.
With my strength conditioning coach.
Okay.
So that's my goal right now, and I'm gonna go home, relax with my mom. Okay. Spend time with her before I really start the game of life.
Okay. And home is Georgia.
Yes, sir.
All right, outstanding. Big shouts to Mom.
Yes.
She's probably watching right now. That's my baby boy. You know, stuff like that. So, like for you as well, what do you like to do when it's not football? What is Israel doing?
I really like to chill out with my close friends in the D-line room. Some of my teammates, like play games with them, 2K, Madden.
Stuff
just
like
enjoy
that. Yeah.
enjoy like the little bit of time I have left with them.
When you playing 2K and playing Madden, do you put yourself in that mindset?
Yes, sir. Got to win and everything.
That's a good thing.
Yes, sir.
That's a good thing. So when you're playing, when you're playing the game, do you always use the Cowboys? Like you the Cowboys every time?
No, sir.
Why you make that face like that?
Cowboys aren't my team.
Who's your team?
Pittsburgh Steelers, coach.
Israel just said, make it known right here, Dallas Cowboys is now his team of choice.
Whoa. Never said that.
Your time at Benedict, you've been here the whole 4 years, the whole 9 yards. You had the winning seasons, and of course, you're working with this new coach as well, and you guys are learning and gelling together. Tell me about your experience at Benedict.
It's a great one. Dang.
Tough question?
Yeah, tough question. You got me there.
Okay.
I feel like the experience is good. I've enjoyed every single bit of it. Met a group of guys that I can invite to my weddings one day.
You're in the field playing defensive end.
Yes, sir.
Opposite the quarterback, you got these offensive linemen, you see the running back. What's going through your mind?
Make a play.
All right. But how do you envision? Do you see yourself?
First thing I do is I look at that old lineman, see what he's going to do, and I'm going to go off of that, read and react. And then after that, just make a play.
Yeah.
Help the team win.
If you see the running back leaning a little bit to the left or leaning to the right, that'll give you a little edge. Or the quarterback's eyes if he's looking and shifting. You know what I mean? Do you look for little things like that?
Yes, sir, I do. Anything that helps me make a play to help benefit the team. Yes, sir.
Yeah. The rage, does it come from like, you go back, like, you know how some people are, I got to get mad, I got to get angry. Do you think about stuff like that? Or like, maybe, do you have brothers, siblings, or anything like that?
I have brothers, yes,
They ever
sir.
beat you up? He's like, I'm going to get him back. You that guy. Do you ever do stuff like that?
No, sir.
No?
Listen, nice R&B before the game, relax my mind.
R&B, no hip hop.
No, sir.
Get out. Who's your favorite R&B?
Right now, I listen to a lot of SZA and Michael Jackson.
Okay, SZA.
SZA.
That female that sings, right?
Yeah.
See, you thought
Yes,
I
sir.
didn't know. I'm down. Israel, my man, wish you well in
Thank
this
you,
game
sir.
coming up, and of course, your future endeavors. No doubt about that, and we appreciate everything that you've been able to do right here at Benedict College.
Thank you, sir.
My man, hold it down. All right, sit still. We'll be right back.
Oh, snap.
We'll be right back with more. Inside, but this guy's ready to get out there on that field and start tackling people. Back with more Inside Benedict College Football. Coach Ron Dickerson Jr.
Life moves fast, and while you're raising future MVPs, it's good to know you've got a teammate with Founders, a partner you can trust to always have your back, with products and services that give you the freedom to focus on the more important things. While you're sharing those moments, remember, we're here for one single reason, to help grow your financial success. So when the game is done, you can relax, because at Founders, our most valuable player is you.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. Benedict College, as we get ready for the second half, 7-3 still up on this one. And coach, though, we got to give big shouts to Founders Federal Credit Union. We say thank you so much for sponsoring and supporting and believing in Benedict College Football, as well as Lexington Medical Center, South Carolina Education Lottery, and Columbia Metropolitan Airport. And man, we got to know Izzy. Yeah. No, but you call him Yes Coach. Noah Kacha. This guy, man, he's a great guy to learn. And no, but also we're going to come up with the spotlight on one of your coaches, too. We'll do that later on in the show.
Yes, sir.
Right now, let's kick it off. It's the second half. You guys are going to receive the ball, which is very rare because you guys always kind of sort of have to get the ball kicked to you.
True.
But it's a great thing that you get this thing moving down the field. Cameron Davis gets a 6-yard gain from a pass from Trey. That brings up 4th and short, right? Benedict 34-yard line. You decide to roll the dice.
Yeah, again, I got to believe in our players, and it's 4th and short. We should be able to get the ball. We have a missed assignment, and we don't make it. And again, they got to believe in me. I got to believe in them. And I believe we should have got it, and we know what our mistakes were, and we'll learn from it.
So Morehouse is now looking at a 4th and 8. They're on Benedict's 32-yard line, and they come up with a first down on this one. But don't worry. We got the Lexington Medical Spotlight player, Noah Kacha. This guy comes up big.
He does. He gets a sack, backs him up, puts their back up against the goal line, and there's a lot of pressure that they have to have. And then the next play they come out. And, it's funny because I decided to go play quarterback this week for the defense. I just like being a part, and being the head coach, I don't get to coach a position. And so, I went over and I was playing a little quarterback, running around. And I tell them now, don't touch me, though, but, it helps me to be part of them and them to see that I'm human. And the sack that we got, actually, he did the same thing at practice. And then the very next play, I scramble out. I throw a ball down the middle of the field almost identical to where it was on Saturday, and Gio comes up and makes the interception. And so, you know, they're like, oh, bad ball. I said, no, I threw the ball to you, Gio, so you can catch it. So on Saturday, you can make the interception. And so when it almost happened like it did at practice, you know, I was kind of boasting a little bit. I was happy. But again, just letting them play the game during the week puts us in great situations when it happens. You know, it's not a, ooh, I'm surprised. It's, okay, this is how it went during the week. And the two things that happened on that drive were almost the same way they happened in practice. When I guess, you know, I won't be playing quarterback anymore since I got a sack and a fumble, but they enjoyed it.
You know, that's what people, you know, when you talk about practice, you know, you practice how you play.
Yes, sir.
So when you do that, practice game day, it's almost the same thing. Whatever you do in there, you're going to do in that game.
That's true. That is so true.
All right, so Benedict takes over in their own 5-yard line. On the first down, they get tackled in the end zone. They get the safety, Morehouse does, so now the score is 7-5. Now, here we go. Let's get to this one. Two teams, they trade the punt. They go back and forth, and again, it's that defensive game here.
It really is, you know, and I'm happy our defense is showing up, you know, because we're struggling a little bit on offense. We're trying to figure some things out, and we're slowly moving the ball. But our defense, I mean, they are just playing lights out. They're doing a good job. You know, they're shutting down the run and everything else. And so what we had to do is we had to figure out how to run the ball into what they're giving us, and we started getting very successful with Damian Moats and Izzy Rhodes.
Benedict is in good field position. Trey Simmons, he runs for 11 yards for now key 4th and 1. Now, of course, you've been trusting your players. You're trusting them again.
I do, you know, and, you know, as I said before, guys, I know we can do it. We just got to do the little things. We got to do our assignments and everything else. So, you know, this time we put the ball in Damian Moats' hands, and he presses the line, comes back, cuts back, and there's a nice running lane, and he's a good, strong runner. Again, a freshman runner, but, you know, he comes up, and I think he gets 11 or 12 yards. And I think that's really the turning point to get our juices flowing to understand that, yes, now we've figured out what we need to do in the running game and also how we need to start passing the ball.
I coach from the 12. Simmons, he connects with Malik Mullins for a touchdown. Lucas Wynn adds the PAT, so now the score is 14-5. Benedict is up on this one. It's only 16 seconds left in this third quarter, but even going into the fourth quarter, again, it happens to be that defensive battle between both teams because neither team wants to budge on this one.
That's true, you know. And just go back and talk, we were really excited because we didn't give up any points in the third quarter, and we were actually, that was the first time this year that we had scored in the third quarter, you know. And so, again, talking about how we do the little things, and that's what we were doing. And so playing a foreign defense, you know, we're learning how to do stuff and everything else. But, again, it was a defensive struggle. I mean, excuse me, it was an offensive struggle because defenses, both of them were playing good. And it was something that was a little conventional for us, especially with a young quarterback, to figure it out. But we were just chipping away. We weren't panicking or anything else. And then again, our defense steps up, man. I mean, you know, we think we're going to get an interception with Aaron Miller, and he drops the ball. And so he comes over, and I'm like, Aaron, you know, come on, you got to catch the ball. He said, Coach, I got you. And then a couple plays later, boom, Izzy causes the fumble, and Aaron picks it up. And so I think Aaron's going to score because, you know, we see Aaron running everything else practice, but he did a great job. He turned the field around. Defense had a great, you know, for us, that's a score, and it puts us in a good situation, you know, offensively, and it's another big momentum swing for the Tigers.
You're right, Coach. He gets this ball, runs 22 yards down the field to the Morehouse 25, but there's only 2:28 left on the clock.
True, and that's when we get into what we call our 4-minute offense, and all we want to do is get a first down, and once we can get that clock under the 2 minutes, you know, now it's just run the clock. Hopefully they don't call timeout. Run the clock. Hopefully they don't call timeout. But then you know you still got to get a first down. And so we run the ball in the first play and get a little bit of yards. We run the ball in the second play and we throw it and we don't get anything. And so the next time we come back and I think it's third down, we do a great naked because they were pursuing over because they thought we were going to run the ball. And so we got a freshman wide receiver in the boundary who didn't have the game like he did before, but he takes 3 guys because I guess they think we're going to throw the ball to him. We bring Malik Mullins on a slant, and we bring Tyreek Carter on a wheel route. Great ball fake by Trey Simmons. Running back carries it out. He comes out, boots back around. There's nobody there, and I'm going, throw the touchdown, Trey, throw the touchdown. Yeah. He could have ran it, but I'm yelling, throw the touchdown, throw the touchdown. And he gets real close to the line of scrimmage and he throws it, you know, to really seal the deal at that point in time. But that was a call that we needed because we had been running the ball and we've been doing really good with our outside zone. And so, I mean, they did exactly what we thought they were going to do in that situation, bite on it. And that side of the field was just wide open to, you know, get that touchdown with Tyreek Carter.
21-5, that's the way this one ends, and Benedict defeats Morehouse. But checking out the stats here, Morehouse, Benedict held Morehouse to 98 yards total offense, 6 recorded sacks for minus 49 yards, 2 of 13 on third down conversions. Your defense really stepped up in this game.
They did. I mean, they played great, and it was good, you know, because, again, we had struggled. We'd missed tackles earlier, and we're growing. We are growing. We're playing a lot of freshmen. We're playing a lot of new guys. And we just got to continue to go forward. You know, we're not trying to take leaps and bounds. We're just trying to take baby steps. And it was good for them to put in a great week of work and then to show up on Saturday and show what they can do. And so now they've kind of set a bar that's a little higher, and they got to, you know, continue to live up to that. And, you know, we got to get some things fixed on offense. But hopefully, you know, going into this week, we'll have a traditional defense where there's 4 down and not really 3. But now the good thing is we've played the one game with 3 down, and so we should be able to handle it a lot better.
Coming up after the break, we're going to have our Columbia Metropolitan Airport assistant head coach spotlight, and it's going to be Marcus Spearman Jr. He plays the defensive lineman. He's a big guy. That's what the guys do with defense. Right, Izzy? All right, back right after this. It is Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr.
Your trip begins now. Your trip is your story, and all the best stories begin right here at the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Whether you travel for business or pleasure, we designed CAE to maximize your comfort. Maybe your trip is one of discovery, reunion, or time to close the deal. Wherever your trip ends, it all begins right here, the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Fly with ease.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. It's brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Right now, though, we have the Columbia Metropolitan Airport assistant coach spotlight. We got Marcus Spearman. He's the assistant head coach, but also the defensive line coach as well. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, sir.
We appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Here in South Carolina, we talk about education, we talk about all the kinds of things. We're always pretty much almost at the bottom, which we hate. But you know who always behind us? West Virginia. Coach, how was it growing up in West Virginia?
So,
a lot of mountains and stuff.
Yeah, I think that. So, Coach calls me West Virginia. I spent the majority of my time from schooling and coaching in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. I'm originally from New York.
Oh, there's a little flip on that one.
Yeah.
You were born in New York?
Yes, sir.
How long did you live there? About a day, 2? Then they moved you?
No. I spent majority of my life. I spent 5 years coaching in West Virginia, 2.5 playing and 1.5 coaching. So,
what part of New York?
A little spot called Newburgh, New York, right outside in Orange County, about 1.5 hours south of Albany.
Gotcha. So upstate up there.
Yeah.
Right. I'm from Brooklyn, so.
I know. Anything outside the 5 boroughs is upstate, so it's okay.
You know, that's what it is, though. But listen, you're in South Carolina at Benedict College. What brought you here?
Coach Dickerson.
Nice.
Coach Dickerson. You know, trust him as a man, believe in his vision as a coach. But I think for me, it's about knowing who people are, not so much what they do.
Yeah.
So he is a great coach, but he's a great man. He's a great father. I'm a great mentor and leader. So it was easy, you know, when someone calls and says, hey, I want you to be a part of what we want to build here. So
right.
I'm appreciative of that.
You know, defense wins games.
Oh, they win championships.
Oh, watch out now. Go ahead, coach. That's what's up. And you have to have a mastermind. It's like playing chess. You got to be able to take that move away from them.
Yes,
so
sir.
Tell me about how you develop that mindset.
So I think, you know, you hear me say this to my guys every day in meetings. Football is do your job, control the controllables. But literally, football is everyday math. Mm-hmm. It's not quantum physics. You need to be able to understand that 1 + 1 is 2.
Right.
4 + 2 is 6. I'm not going to ask you the square root of a pi, which is 3.14. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how football works. If
Absolutely.
you can keep football simple and you can be a master at everyday math, you'll be phenomenal at it.
Yeah.
So that's probably the way I coach it and teach it, and try to keep it as simple as possible. Because the less thinking, the faster you can move. The faster you can move, the more we can instill. But if you know your opponent, you know, I want to know their hand better than what he knows it. I want to understand the depth of the running back, understand what a quarterback wants to do, know what he wants to do on PN10. It's not about beating the offensive lineman. I don't have to beat him. I know what the coordinator wants to do.
Right.
So
you got to get to those running backs and that quarterback, or the
hard.
tight ends, or the offensive ends.
Anyone that wear a different colored jersey, if you hit them hard enough, they'll quit.
Man, whew, I can tell you tough out there on that field with these guys. You're direct. You know what you need. You know what you want.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So coming to Benedict was a great choice for you said, coming down here, working with these guys. Tell me, how is it working with the fellas that you do?
I think I have the best room.
Okay.
And I say that in the utmost respect to each of them because they all bring their own individual personality. They all have something that they want to be great at, and they work at it. I think when you get a chance to work with anyone whose desire and passion is to be great, man, it allows you to coach them in a different kind of way. But then also not just coaching them, but getting to know who they are as people. I read a book, it's get to know the athlete behind the jersey.
Okay.
I want to know their heart.
Yeah, which is important. You get through to them to know who they are as a person, you could get the best out of them from that point.
1,000%. I told them, I think day one when I got here is I'm going to coach you, but I want to know who you are. Who you are is more important to me than what you do.
Yeah.
So the makeup of who you are as a person, 10% of it or 90% of it are 10% is always be an always changing rule. What do I mean by that is if you're at work, you're an employee or an employer. Right? If you're on the football field, you're a football player. That 90% is probably what's the most important because it's who you are day in and day out. It's non-changing roles. You'll always be a father. You'll always be a son.
Yeah.
You'll be a leader. You'll be a mentor. Everyone will watch you when you know it and when you don't. That 90% is who I care about the most. And if you know I care about the 90%, the 10% of the athlete, man, we'll run through a brick wall together.
This coach right here. Check out what his team is going to do this Saturday. Greenville University?
Yes, sir.
Guys get ready to play this game on Saturday. How do you prep these guys for that?
To give them the most information possible to put them in the best position to be successful. I don't want them to go out there and try to figure out like it's a mind game. I want to give them the answer key to the test.
There it is.
And that's real simple. See, everyday math. I want you to know that 1 + 1 is 2.
That is it. Marcus, we appreciate you and what you're doing with these guys.
Yes, sir.
Look forward to the game this coming Saturday, 3 o'clock, Charlie W. Johnson Stadium. Make sure you're there to help support your Benedict College Tigers. That's the way we do things around here. All right, back with more Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr., brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union.
The lottery isn't about jackpot winners. It's about investing in our students. Even when it began in 2002, it was lottery proceeds that helped fund new technology initiatives in schools across South Carolina. And when students booted up those screens for the first time, they discovered a lifelong love of learning that shaped them into the professionals and people they are today. When you play the lottery, the real winners are always our students. After all, education is our middle name.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. Coach, coming off a win. You guys have got a winning streak going. Would you call it a winning streak? Got back-to-back wins.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. We just say it's the next game.
You're going for 3 now.
Yes, we are.
Now, here's the thing. You guys are playing a non-conference game this coming Saturday over at Charlie W. Johnson Stadium. But I got to remind folks, it's not on TV. It's not going to be streamed. So the only way you got to be able to see this game is coming out to the stadium over there on 2 Notch Road, which I'm sure you'd love to do. It's a 3 o'clock kick. You could do this. Bring the family, bring the friends. Plus, you'll be able to check out the BOD, Benedict College Marching Band of Distinction, as they do what they do as well. These guys, and gals, shall I say, are awesome. So listen, here we go. Let's talk about this game that's coming up. Your thoughts on this team that you're about to play, which is what, North Greenville?
Yes, sir.
University?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just right up the road, And we're going to dedicate this game to our loved ones and all the women that have had or dealing with breast cancer.
Okay.
So at some point in time, we'll have something on that we're representing pink for the women and everything else as we're going into October. Because a lot of young men have family members and everything else that have either won the battle or going through it right now. And so we want to give homage to those people that are dealing with that. But a great team coming in. They're coming out of the GSC, which is a very strong conference and everything else. And I've had the privilege and a couple of my coaches to go against them the last 3 years when I was at the University of West Florida. But being that they're real close, I thought that would be a great game. Again, just to get us out of the conference, to measure where we are, and use it as a confidence boost going into there, because it's a team that comes with a very good reputation.
That's a great thing, which means it should be a great game.
True.
You're familiar with this team. You're going to get your fellas geared up for this battle, as you always do, and looking to come out on top on this one. Again, it's at 3 o'clock. It's over at Charlie W. Johnson Stadium. And we always talk about this. Every time you have a home game, the importance of making sure folks come out to support the Tigers.
Most definitely. Again, it's to come and support them young men. If they're going to be something in life, and we don't know, one of them may be your doctor, and he, at that, and you can have a great conversation about, when you came and watched him, run up and down the field or even stand on the sidelines. And so, we have reach one, teach one, as I tell our team. So I encourage everybody, all walks of life. The music's good, the food's good, the band is awesome, and the game's going to be good. Into that, and it's going to be a great time to fellowship. As I said, the last time we had a home game, let's just turn it into an old-fashioned family reunion and have everybody in there and having a great time and enjoying themselves, including us.
Such a great atmosphere over there with the tailgating that goes on before the game, just the smell of the food, the atmosphere, the music. And then, of course, you come inside for a great game from a great stadium as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And a great team. These guys are playing hard. They're playing hard. I believe in them too, Coach.
Well, thank you very much.
Tell you what, they had 4th and 1 with me. I'm going to say, go for it, guys. In defense, they're going to stop you. That's what they do. Absolutely.
Yes. So true.
All right, so listen, don't forget, make sure you're there. And we also want to say thank you to our big sponsors and supporters of Benedict College Football, like Founders Federal Credit Union, South Carolina Education Lottery, Columbia Metropolitan Airport, Lexington Medical Center. All of you folks, we say a big hearty thank you to being a part of this show inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. And we've got another big one coming up for you next week. But make sure you're at the game this weekend, Saturday, 3 o'clock, Charlie W. Johnson Stadium. There's no other place to be but there to have some fun. Right, Coach?
So true.
That's what's up. BC.
You know.